So we can start. This is the presentation from the Lisbon Hub. We are there for those who don't know Lisbon. Okay, we have a lot of things to cover. We have a lot of projects. I'm not in all of the projects. I'm trying to represent the best as I can, all the projects. At the end, if you have any questions, I will redirect you to the corresponding teams and or developers. And so let's start. Who are we? Currently, we are 16 developers. We are divided into 3 teams. Our main products are classified verticals for cars and real estate. And we have a third team, which is the architecture team. This team was terminated. It's still active with some projects, but it's going to end. And in the future, we are going to be only 2 main products. This is the guys that are working on teams, their names. We have basically 2 main different kind of CF and BT that you are seeing. CF stands for customer facing and BT for business tool. Basically, it's the apps for the sellers and the apps for the buyers. What we do? What do we build? This is the projects. Each team works on different projects, cars projects and real estate projects. The architecture team has a different goal. Their main goal was to provide solutions for both teams and to help us scale our products more easily by feature and not by throwing more developers at the products. Our organization, where are the mobile developers inside each product? Each product has a product head. It's the responsible for the entire product. Below, they have an engineering manager and a product manager that basically deal with all the developers of each pack. This is a pack. We have more than 1 pack. And each pack can have a mobile developer or not, a front-end, back-end, UI, UX. Can have any combination of those, can have 0, 1, or more, depending on the pack objective. Each pack has a different objective within the product for developing some feature or maintaining or some other task. How do we do the work? This is new. Some teams have already been working on sprints and OKRs, but Scrum is something really new in the company. All the teams in the company are going to start working on with Scrum. 2-week sprints. Our product backlog is powered by OKRs. That stands for Objective Key Results. Basically, let's see how it does. Okay, before going to the architecture, I would like to mention a challenge, probably our biggest challenge. It's the legacy code. All of our projects were not built in-house. They were delivered to us from outside. So no developer in the house build that project from the start. They are very old projects. There's no layered architecture. There were no tests, no documentation. It was very hard to pick up those projects and to start build things on top of that. So the legacy code of the projects was probably our biggest problem. But this year, all the teams, at least some with a better result than others, managed to start refactoring that code. And some teams even went from 0 tests to 90% code coverage. we managed to implement some different architectures between all the projects, clean architecture, MVVM, and MVP. And this happened because, another warning, our organization is the one on the left, not the one on the right. We have 3 different groups which are separated, and we do not work in sharing code and ideas environments. That's why each team, each project has its own architecture. So right now we are seeing the one chosen by real estate team on Android. They went for MVP. In iOS, they are using a standard MVC, but they manage the same results with this architecture. They spend a lot of time refactoring, and they managed to cover 90 to 95% code coverage with unit tests. They went from an untestable app to a fully layered testable app, which is a big deal. In the cars projects, we choose a different architecture. We choose MVVM. We started behind. Due to the project nature, it's not possible to fully refactor the app in one go. But the main objective is each new feature that we do, or the ones that we touch, we try to refactor to MVVM. And we are already starting to have some tests. Okay, we reached to the architecture team, which focused on the implementation of one implementation of the clean architecture. And the objective here was to serve both the cars and real estate projects. They managed to successfully deliver an app with the proposed challenge, which were the sharing of concepts between all verticals and mobile platforms, sharing code between projects, and they later introduced and managed to use DDD to accomplish feature isolation. So, okay, this is related to why we have 3 architectures. It's not very easy. I think it's not very feasible to have a common technology stack when we are working in the same company, but with different products, with different objectives, with different goals. Although we all know each other and we are all mobile developers, it's very hard to share these abstractions and this way of working between the teams. That's why we have three very different approaches to our projects in technology. Of course, we can share small things like small technology like reactive programming or dependency injection things, but it was very difficult to have a common stack between all the 3. Okay, let's go for our exciting results. Migrations. This was the year our company acquired a lot of products. Each product had its own source code, its own backend, and we managed to migrate all of those to the same code base. We migrated the products in Portugal, real estate migrated in Indonesia, and we migrated Stradia to a single app concept, which is it's different content for all the countries, but we have a country detection mechanism that made possible to use only one app in the store. Swift was also the year that our iOS developers managed to build an 100% app in Swift, like the Clean Architecture app, or nearly 100 in real estate. In Android, we start migrating to Kotlin, but we are still very behind comparing to Swift. It was also the year that we implemented continuous integration and continuous delivery. Some teams are far more advanced than others. The architecture team was able to make the process available to all, and it's now a matter of time to implement in all projects. They were also able to incorporate continuous integration in the Git flow process. Okay, phrase app, a small thing, but we also, when we deal with so many countries, we have a problem with translations, and translations is always a problem. Phrase app, we managed to have some consensus between Android and iOS on that field. Yeah, it was also very good results. Okay, for the clean architecture, the project delivered and achieved the results, that proving that it is possible to share the domain for all classified projects in the hub. This was a huge thing. It was proposed as a proof of concept in the beginning, and they achieved the desired results. Okay, technology stack maturity. It was also the year that we used a lot of new technology, like the Google architecture components, for example, but also that we start using reactive programming on a more common basis, and it's not an easy technology to get into immediately. And this is just an example of all the technologies that we use between Android and iOS. And that's it. It's finished.